if aggression is the only thing that drives you, trying to think rationally will always become a problem. It will always be in your way. It will always be in your way because it's going to come up. The situation is going to come up to the point where I have all this built up aggression, and I'm not even mad at this situation. But the way I'm gonna handle this situation is I'm gonna get out so much of this aggression at one time. I just lost all focus.
It's just that I think the thing about it is that aggression is not you're taking aggression and you're thinking. I mean, I don't know whether you're thinking it in the physical or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what I'm. That's not what I'm.
Mentally,
but as a black man, I would want your mind state, regardless of whatever. I would want it to be aggressive. You understand? And when I say aggressive, I don't mean you're quick to speak and you're angered or you're tempered. What I mean is that you're confident, that you're determined. Because if you look at that, the successful people, that's what they are. Regardless of what you say, that's what they are. And people will walk out the room and say, man, well, I can't stand, oh, think I go to meeting with him? Yes, because they're serious people. You understand what I'm saying?
But listen, their aggression is controlled. Mm-hmm. And their aggression is pointed in productive areas.
So why can't ours?
We can do that. No, we ain't do that. But what he's saying is, your aggression can't be your overall driving force. That can't be your determining factor. That can't be your rationale.
No, I didn't say it should be, but it should definitely play a significant role.
Yeah, I mean, anger and all that kind of stuff can motivate you, but it has to be controlled and it has to be pointed.
I agree.
Sometimes anger can make you think one track.
I agree with that too.
Anger can move you in one direction.
I agree.
Cause you're so mad, you ain't pivoting, man. You ain't doing your 1-2. You just mad right now. And you ever seen somebody walk when they mad? You ever seen a mad person walk?
Yeah, shit.
You ever seen that?
Yeah.
So when you're angry and you walk, guess what it is, man? You ever seen that? They walking. I ain't worried about what's over here.
I've also seen people.
Ain't worried about what's over here.
I've also seen.
It's got this one track mind on. This is what I'm mad at. I'm going.
But I've also seen people be mad and they're quiet and you wouldn't even know. I've also seen people just get mad and they sit there and they're just quiet.
You remember the great Bruce Lee, what his lesson was? Never fight, man.
Yeah.
You can't think.
Never fight.
You cannot. You can't. Let me tell you something. I've done so many things in my life I wish I can take back, but I can't. But I did them out of being angry. Did him out of being angry. After it was done, it's like, what am I sorry for? I can't apologize. I already did it.
Yeah.
I've already done it. It's over now. Now I gotta deal with the consequences.
Yep.
But if I sat back and I thought rationally, like, damn, go ahead and put this joint up. I don't need this today. Maybe I can talk to this person tomorrow or something. Or maybe I can do this. Or, you know what I'm saying? If I would have sat back and just took, we gonna handle this or do right now, or bro, you can put yourself in this total situation. It's the same as you an adult, right? Let the bill come. You know how you can get what? You know
this reminds me of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. They both were angry.
Now hold up.
They both were angry.
I got a personal example for you. You remember when me, Brandon, and Foss came around there on your behalf?
Okay.
You were so angry and upset that you and Brian almost got to fight. Because that anger was what was controlling you, and that anger was pushing you, and you didn't like the fact that he was pushing you away from the fight.
But it was wrong.
What was wrong? Him pushing you away from the fight?
That whole scenario, it was just wrong. So I had a right to be angry.
No. That whole scenario wasn't wrong.
It really was.
Because I was there the whole time.
Not the whole time.
I was there the whole time when Brian and us came around, because they came around the car with me.
Yeah.
So when we got there, you got so angry at him pushing you away.
Because this is my yard. This is my house. If anything, you push him away from my yard. That whole scenario was wrong. You don't want to get in specifics because that was wrong.
See, See,
You come in there in my defense, but you're pushing me.
no,
Why
I'm
don't
gonna,
you?
I'm gonna let you talk because what you're getting ready to do for me is you're ready to show how wrong you were. So go ahead, continue.
Okay. If you
That was
come in,
your-
if
first thing
you're
you said, because that was your yard.
in my house,
He's in your house, so he shouldn't have been pushing you.
exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
So my thing is this: if he's on my property, hail or whatever is on my property, why are you not getting him off of my property? But you're in my defense, but you're pushing me off of my property. Why would you push me? This is where I live. This is where my house. He's over here. What are you doing over here? If I'm coming in your behalf and someone is on your property, I'm not pushing you. I came for you. I'm pushing the one who is an invader. You don't belong here.
All right, now you go ahead. You tell me when you finish, because I want.
I'm finished. That's in the argument.
Now, that's not in the argument. What happened was, you were in the backyard. When we got out of the car, Hell no was on your side of the street, on your grass, on that corner. When we got out of the car, you came running around the back with a machete. You ran straight up to him. You stood there, y'all was ready to chop each other.
Right in front of my tree.
And on your yard.
In my yard.
So at that time, Hell, when we pulled up, Hell seen us. And Hell did like this. And he stopped. He stopped, he stood there, he backed up. You ran out the back. And you ran right up to him and you got in the face with the thing. Now, he grabs the bag and y'all get ready to go at it. We pulled you back. Because we didn't have to touch him. Because he wasn't trying to get through us to get to you. You were trying to get through us to get to him.
Who was still on my property.
It don't matter.
That-
Our job was to defuse the situation. You weren't allowing us to defuse the situation.
I don't think it got diffused right.
Well, it's a matter of, that's your opinion. But this is where we're talking about when that aggression and that anger is controlling everything. Because we didn't even have to say one word to him to get him to calm down. He calmed down the minute he seen us. You came out. Rawr.
He really didn't calm down.
He calmed down the minute he seen us. When you came out and y'all got back, that's when he picked his bat up, and that's when it all started up again. So we grabbed you to defuse you so that then we can go deal with him. We didn't have to push him. Nobody had to touch him or to push him away from you. We had to push you away from him. That's the whole thing.
I guess it's a matter of perspective on that.
Yeah, it's perspective, but it's a point where this also comes down to what we're talking about. You can't resolve the issue if you're not straight up honest and you don't control, and anger is your driving force. And that's what's determining the decisions you make. If anger is determining the decisions that you make, and then you can't even go back and look at that and see that, you're never going to fix it. So what I'm getting from this is by you, this was 2 years ago, almost 2 years
My
ago.
anger was justified.
Almost 2 years ago, you're still saying that your anger was justified. You were justified.
I wasn't the aggressor in the
Let me finish.
situation.
No, not the initial situation. Let me finish. Hell and them
None of
should-
the situation.
Let me finish. Hell and them should have never come over there at you about anything.
Twice.
Let me finish. He started all of that. But once all of that started, when we came up, that's when your anger became the problem.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
There's no way that just all of a sudden then it becomes my problem. I just don't
Nah,
understand.
what it becomes is what we were sitting here talking about. Anger and aggression being the driving force.
That's like saying he started the fight. Now I'm mad, so it's my problem now. That's some dumb stuff some school would say. That's the stuff reminds me of stuff when I used to get in trouble in school and I'd be done punch the boy in the face, but he started the fight, but now I'm mad and I'm wrong. Get out of here. I'm not trying to hear that. You can save that, bro. I'm not trying to hear that. My mind ain't that evolved yet. I'm not that evolved yet in my thinking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to hear
You
that.
never got to the point where, put it like this, If they wasn't there and you swung that joint back and cut him, you wouldn't be there either.
You don't know that. The cop said I was valid because he came with a bat in my yard. So yeah, I might have went to jail, but I would have beat that, bro. You understand? And I was ready to go to jail.
No, when they
I'd have beat that.
Now, you would have beat that had we not had to speak. Because if we had to speak, what I would have had to tell the police is exactly this. When we pulled up, Hale saw us, Hale stopped, looked at us. When we got out the car and we started walking over, you ran out of the back with a machete. You ran up to Hale. That's when Hale picked your bat back up. That would have been what we had to tell them. See, at that point, y'all initial confrontation, when we pulled up, y'all initial confrontation was over.
It wasn't over.
Let me finish. Y'all initial confrontation was over because when we pulled up, he backed down. He was the aggressor of that initial confrontation. You came from out the back with the machete, and that's when you ran up to his face.
Because he came with the weapon.
Okay, let me finish.
On my property.
Let me finish. You missing the point. When we got there, your initial thing stopped. It stopped. It started back up again when you came out of there with that machete. That's when everything started back up. That's when at that point you made him have to lift his back up. Because now if somebody comes up my face with a machete,
I'm gonna arm up.
I got to pick my thing back up.
But
now
why?
He started the entire confrontation
With
by
the
coming
bat.
over there. With the bat. By coming over there to your house. He started the entire confrontation.
So there's no way that he turns into defense. There is no way that you come. If I come there with a gun to your house and you go get one and then now all of a sudden you raise your gun, but you came with the gun in the first place and you get popped. You understand? I don't understand that.
This is an example.
It would have never got that far with me.
But see, this is an example of how hard it is to get through people's emotions. This right here is a good example of that. Because if you think about it, if somebody comes in and robs your house, steals something out of your house, and they run out that front door, once they turn their back on you, if you shoot them,
You going to jail?
you going to jail. Because once they do this, the confrontation's over.
Yeah,
The confrontation is over.
Yeah, no longer.
Once they stop coming towards you and they turn their back, the confrontation is over.
This confrontation wasn't over.
When he stopped and he put his back down and we got there, your confrontation was over.
He didn't
Bro, I
drop
used to
that
be
bat.
just like you.
He put the stick down and he started backing away. He threw it on the ground, he put it down and he started backing away. Because he didn't know, he thought he was going to have a confrontation with us. Your confrontation with him was over.
How was it over when he just stood? Why did I go get the machete? What, I just got that just to get it?
Did you just,
Come on, man.
Did you not hear what we said? Once we stepped out
You
of the
came
car,
in the middle of a confrontation.
no, we didn't.
It wasn't over.
You was in the backyard.
Getting what I'm getting.
When we pulled up, you were in the backyard.
Okay.
When we got there, Hale put the bat down, and I said something. What's going on? He ain't say nothing. He stopped and he just stood there. Before he could say anything to us, you ran out the back, and when you ran out the back, you ran straight to him with a machete like this. That's a whole new confrontation.
That was brought to me.
Not the second.
What do you mean? There is no differential, man. You can't divide and choose when you want to. You can't.
Legally.
Ain't no legally, man.
That's
I'm
the way
talking
it
about
goes.
right now, man.
Legally, that's the way it goes. And you can sit back and you can choose not to believe and you can choose
The cop already told me how it went down,
The cop
bro.
didn't know the whole scenario because we left.
What do you mean?
The cop didn't hear us. The cop didn't
He
hear
didn't
our
ask to
version.
hear you.
He did have to hear our version. Because if we'd have told that cop,
What?
if we had told that cop that you ran out of the back with the knife after we got there,
Yeah.
that would have changed the whole story. Why do you think we left? We left so that you wouldn't get in any more trouble, so that they had to ask us nothing. We got up out of there. Because if we'd have told him that when we got there, Hale stopped, and was talking to us, and then you ran out of that back with a machete over to him.
Over to him, he was in my yard. What, y'all don't have to go nowhere.
When he came, whatever, wherever it was, he was in the corner by that tree y'all cut down. He was over there.
In my yard.
So he was between.
That's my property.
He was right there between. When I got.
Since you want to talk,
when we got there,
that's my property.
Let me finish. When we got there, hell was between your house and the lady and your next door neighbor. He was right there, looking over the thing like that. When we got there, when he saw us come up, he came back away from your yard, which stood near the corner, near the side, still on your yard, still on your lawn. But he walked back and he stood there, and the sisters and them stood. All of them stood right there. And while we were walking up to him, he didn't make not one move, or he didn't do nothing until you came out. So if you looking at that from a legal perspective, that was the first confrontation was over when we came up. And when you come out the backyard, you stopped us from talking to him. Really?
That was a continuance of the first confrontation.
No, the overall event, everything occurred because he came over to your house.
Correct.
That's what ignited everything.
Correct. With a weapon.
Yeah, but you gotta be able to dissect that and break that down, because there are moments when you can escalate or you can de-escalate.
But it's already been that. But that's not for me to de-escalate, because it's already here for me. That's not for me to de-escalate.
At some point in your life, confrontation, you're gonna have to learn how to de-escalate it, because that shit can escalate to something totally serious. Like, I could still serve.
Put it like this, good brother. If I had to spend a day in jail for this or whatever, I would have been okay with that, because I know in my mind that I was right and I didn't cause it. I didn't even mind. I didn't care about the jail. When I do things and I get pushed to that level, good brother, I have right on my side, regardless of what you may sit here and say, perspective, blase, blah, whatever. Right was on my side, because I know the type of person I am. You understand what I'm saying? So for that to happen to me, and you can dice, slice, chop, whatever you want to do. No, it's black and white, good brother. He came.
Sometimes you gotta learn how.
This is why we are where we are still, because this is one of the hardest things to get past.